Okay, Namaste Galactic family. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Indigo Angel, come on into this dimension. Come on into this live New Earth energy update. I hope everyone is doing well today. And yeah, come on in, check on in the room, say hello in the chat. Let me know that you're here for this live energy update today. I'm drinking my Bahama Mama. I think it's strawberries, pineapple, coconut, and white chocolate. Yeah, so it's a nice little cool, refreshing special treat because it is super hot out today down here in Pensacola, Florida. Hey guys, come on in. So we have a lot to get into today. I actually put together a little slideshow of some beautiful pictures that I've kind of been collecting as I've been sifting through what this energy update is going to be about, because there's some really new fascinating awakening and realizations about where the new Earth is emerging on the planet, more specifically. So, we're going to get into all of that. And Japan has been on the radar for so many reasons. You guys drop it down in the comment if you can guess why Japan might be on the radar, why this ties in so deeply to New Earth. Hey, Arizona Raven. Hey, Eye of the Maelstrom. Hello. And M Tumbleweed. Evie. Hey, Evie. And Missy. Hey, girl. Yeah, come on in, guys. We got a lot to get into. Some of you may have already seen my newsletter that went out via the website. And if you don't get those, you should go and sign up at IndigoAngel222.com because I always like to put out some extensive writing with all of my deep dives, as I think it just can translate to so many things, right? Like your writing can translate to your website newsletters, to your blogs, to your energy updates. So yeah, multidimensionally task over here when we're putting this stuff together. Hey, Tony. Yeah, come on in. So I just want to, I think, probably switch over already to my slide, so I can kind of go over everything that we're going to talk about. Let's see. So you guys may recognize this picture from the thumbnail of this video. I think it's pretty telling, right? It's kind of ferocious, this white dragon coming out of the typhoon, so to speak, rising up in this energy. There's a lot of symbolism for this that's going to tie into New Earth and how we're seeing the total vision of the expansion of these new islands, these new lands. And then we have the Japan flag, which is also very significant to the meaning all of this as well. So we're going to get into the depth of this as we're currently going through some major stellar shifts right now. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. But wow, we are just getting hammered with all kinds of changes, just shifting fast changes, life-changing events, unforeseen events, right? Things are manifesting themselves in these timelines right now. And I really feel like it's due to these evolutionary primordial waves and rainfalls and tropical storms that we're getting down in the Pacific right now. And all of this is really ushering in the ascended timelines of New Earth. Ready or not, because here they come. They are coming, and we are along for this beautiful journey. And just pulling my comments back up to the side here so I can stick with you guys as I move through. And yeah, just make sure everyone can hear me okay. If someone wants to put a 5 by 5, I do have a little fan going on next to me over here, which was kind of necessary for me to turn it on to be outside. But I hope there's not too much background noise. So yeah, come on in if you're new to the channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Also put a big like on this video today. Thank you so much, Arizona Raven, for giving me that 5 by 5. Much appreciated, sister. Um, oh, and Missy says the pool looks amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. We just cleaned it this morning. My mom actually came over and she helped me clean the pool. It was like a beautiful mother-daughter event. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, guys, thanks for the 5 by 5. I just want to make sure everything sounds good. So, yeah, you can see my screen share, right? Um, this is kind of, we're going to be talking about Japan today. Because I think really those that are awakened at this time and they're in alignment to New Earth, if your body is going through that major molecular rewrite within the ascension processes, right? We have our 24 to 48 strands of DNA activated, and we are basically when we can tap in as vision holders, as guardians, as grid workers, as gatekeepers of the new earth, we get to do something very special. We get to watch new earth unfold as it occurs because we're aware of it, right? We can see where it's unfolding. We can see where it's occurring. So it just really heightens the 360-degree spectrum when you're on that global and planetary level. And I think one of the things that's just bringing through such a major timeline, like a timeline shift at this time, we're going through a major jump in the timelines, is because this morning, some of you might be aware, but this morning, August 28th, 2024, uh, we had a huge planetary alignment in the sky. So all six planets right now basically are currently visible and they're strung across the sky in alignment. It goes, I believe it goes Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. So you might want to get out there with your star finders on your phone, that app that you have on your phone. I got one. I go down to the Pensacola beach sometimes and I look and I scan for, where the stars are, where the alignments are. And you can see this beautiful alignment today. And I think this is really what had been boosting. I think it's a significant force that's been restabilizing the New Earth reality templates in the planetary body, upgrading them, activating them to big shifts, expansion, contraction, all these things, boosting, charging everything here accordingly. And so this means major timeline shifts, right? We are shifting, we're ascending, we're doing major quantum jumps and leaps at this time. And I really think that this came through very profoundly on the night of August 23rd. So did any of you get a zap, a zing? Uh, Again, a life-changing event, something that occurred, something really sudden, uh, you know, across the board, or if it didn't happen to you personally, maybe it happened to somebody you knew, but I believe it was the 23rd of August. We had just the planetary body was preparing for this big planetary alignment. And I think that this rapidly brought those shifts in. And I noticed it because I was receiving prior to all kinds of waves of unconditional love that just pulled me so far out of my current limitations that I realized there was no going back, right? There's no going back to an old world mindset, an old world mentality. Um, Old dogmatic systems of control, right? An old feeling of lack, an outdated way of thinking and living. And I suddenly actually felt my entire field just expand out of this box, out of this black cube. And yeah, there was like there's no way to once you expand, once you go bigger, once you see more, once you go higher, right? Like you can't fit back into some of the old ways of things. And so I really noticed that suddenly something gave way. And yeah, so you may have too in your life. Maybe someone fell out of your life, and which was so seemingly significant because the truth is we're getting these upgrades. And if other people aren't really aligning in that vibration and that frequency, and they're not, in the pathway of that alignment, they're not walking with you, that when we get major timeline shifts like this that come in with major planetary alignments, you best believe those things are going to release themselves and detach themselves, and you're going to have something that sends you in the trajectory of where your life paths are going because one's going up and one might be going another way, right? And it's just not vibrationally aligning. And so I think a lot of things came through over the last few days. And um, yeah, I just noticed we're more expanded. And so a lot of growth and expansion are coming in, those that are truly aligned with the New Earth timelines. And I noticed that my energy field at this time, it's holding a heightened, expanded auric body. So my aura is definitely more sensitive, but also more expanded and gold light, more magnetism, just overall more expanded consciousness you might be picking up on. And I really have seen a lot of the fallen matrices, the artificial matrices, that they're also receiving an internal timeline shift, but it feels like it's separating more. So not only are their timelines shifting, but there's also bifurcation that's occurring. So if you're kind of riding the higher timeline, really you should be enjoying this time. You should actually be feeling a lot better. You should be but really recognizing what it feels like to exist outside of the distorted and fallen mind control templating. And so I think that we are really bringing in heightened levels of those God sovereign freedom codes. And we're rebirthing through this as we're holding the higher timelines in. Sending love from Liverpool, UK, Indy. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Love to you as well. Teresa, thank you. You're welcome. Alexander. Hey, Alexander. Yeah, we've been getting some pretty powerful shifts. And so for me, that shift also brought in more with the new Earth vision. So let me go back here, go to this beautiful picture. I love this one so much. It's like that reborn, that rebirthing, right? I feel like it's so expansive and really in tune with the new Earth expression of this unconditional new Earth love. And I've been speaking for some time on New Earth, right? Like really getting the vision quest. So really getting the individual detailed specifics of what what each compartmentalization of New Earth is occurring and what it looks like and what these steps and phases are going to be all about. So we're definitely going through a Terra reformation process that has begun into the 12,000 Comet era. And we're becoming Earth's new identity and the future golden age and what these shifts will entail, bringing forth more details, right? So, what I've been seeing is that we are currently birthing new lands right now as we speak. We are currently birthing chains of islands, hundreds of thousands of islands. So, when we talk about the seas rising up and coming into the land and all these major changes, new lands rising from the oceans that we're birthing even a new Lemuria, right? Um, Really, I think where this is taking place is this is forming in the Pacific Ocean, right? It's already happening right now from Hawaii to Japan. And what I've been seeing is that these chains of islands that are being born, that these are holding the new land codes. Okay, these are actually the new lands of New Earth. They're in a nursery state, so to speak. But these lands would be more charged with the double diamond crystals. They're going to have new elemental and new emerald body upgrades, in which are building the new ultra radiant lattices of light, right? The dove, the swan, these beautiful light grids and fabrics in which hold the new earth reality templates in place. It's being birthed into the surface kingdom of the planet within the islands. The islands hold the new earth codes. All of the sacred Venusian, all of the aurora body, all of the base race morphogenetic templating to the aurora races, which the aurora races are set to incarnate into the seventh root race. Okay. And all of this is encrypted already in these birthing chains of islands. And so this is like, it's like re-encrypted land. It's corrected land because it's coming up with there's no corruption codes that are technically, well, there are some. We're going to go over that, but for the most part, it's virgin land. And within this, there's been a removing of the distortions that were a part of the original elemental form that comprises the old Earth planetary body and all of the negative reversal patterning, right? It's kind of free and clear of this. And what's happening is the new Earth elemental command centers from the Pacific, specifically within fire and water, within the volcanoes, and the Pacific Ring of Fire. They're working to rehabilitate all these new encryptions into the non-distorted patterning that recode the race morphogenetic field in the planet, and it's recorrecting the 12 tree universal tree of life inside of the planet, the holographic base level 1 light body of the planet. This is all being re-encoded. This is all being cleansed, okay, and upgraded in humanity. And I'm really, yeah, was picking up on all of this in those Japanese islands. So, as many of you know, we are working to go on a Guardian rescue team mission. And let me go back to my slide. I don't think I put a picture of it in there, but I like this picture. Right? The diamond codes. Um, but as you know, uh, me and my Guardian Rescue team right now, we're preparing for our Gridworker event in Kauai, Hawaii this September. We're really close to it. I'm going to be there, in just a couple weeks or less. And so this is a journey that I'm preparing to bring all of my YouTube family on. So I hope you feel called to stay tuned into the channel so you can pick up on all of these remarkable updates that are going to soon follow. And I really do feel that we've been given granted, the green light to really work on cleansing and healing and assisting with the work to restore what is basically the self-existing remnants of what's left of the motherlands of Mu. Like these are the island tops of Mu, basically. Our shared mother island in Kauai has really sent out this call, and I think we've heard her loud and clear. We really pushed through. We fought through a lot to go here, to be here, to do this. And so everyone who's coming, I mean, thank you so much. You're definitely a true spiritual warrior, and we have a beautiful big mission in front of us. But so much, even as we speak, what's going on right now, guys, and some of you may have heard this, is all these tropical storms, right? Gilma, Hector to approach Hawaii as tropical rainstorms. I think over from now until last weekend, there's been three major tropical storms that have been passing through Hawaii. So all of this preparation work, right? We're about to go to Hawaii, and now we're having all of these major tropical storms occur, which is like you can't make this stuff up, right? Oh my gosh. Uh, yeah, I think. If anything, it's coming through, it's bringing rain to ease those wildfires that are constantly threatening those islands. But it's just so synchronistic that we're preparing to go. And here we go. Mother Nature's just calling us in, and she's preparing Hawaii for us, like with pre-cleansing the lands with water. So there's that, but then there's also when we talk about how it's connected from Hawaii to Japan, you guys may know that today, literally today, another hurricane was set for Japan. It's Typhoon Shanshan, and it's striking Japan today as we speak, right? I was guided to put this update out, and then here we go. A typhoon, a category Hurricane 3, making its way through Japan as we speak. So that I actually got a little picture of the pathway of that hurricane in Japan, and it's so interestingly following the dragon line, okay, following the dragon line up and through Japan, like hitting all of these brand new baby islands that are down here as well. So that's pretty significant, I feel. And just give a little shout out to Noko and Kingston because they messaged me the other day and were like, "You are not going to believe it. All of these tropical storms are coming through right now, just as we're about to go on our grid worker mission." Teresa says, "I have been doing this on my own for a while, not knowing there was a network of souls doing this around the world. Recently been directed to Dragonfield here in Ireland." Yeah, there's a huge community of grid workers now. I would say there's a lot of different groups that are doing this kind of work, and it's definitely a part of the spiritual evolution here for us to tap into our grid worker templating and psychic gifts and abilities because these really are the processes. Grid work is the processes of building the new earth together, right? And unifying humanity and it's really what is paving the way or ushering in the new Earth body. But we have four named storms. They're all swirling through the North Pacific, and I believe this is a response. This is a response to the stellar cosmic alignments and the cleansing power of this transformation globally, and even this planetary alignment that's coming in. And so it's virtually the entire Japanese archipelago is in line to be soaked by Shanshan today as we speak. And it's just blowing my mind. It truly is blowing my mind. Now, what initially brought my attention to Japan, I'll just put out this picture of Japan here, was the rapid rate in which islands are being birthed here in the Pacific. Okay, there's also a lot of underwater ruins that are beneath the islands in Japan and the ridges there that lead to the ancient cities of Mu, where the majority of the remnants of Mu remain, and which I feel is highly significant in decoding the New Earth templing, right? So the ruins, the underwater ruins is really what brought me here, but then recognizing that they said that Japan has over 100,000 islands. Many of them are not accounted for because the size is just too small to count. They're literally just little baby islands. But the Japanese archipelago actually has 14,125 islands, and they recently just discovered and identified another 7,273 new islands. And they just appear to manifest out of nowhere. So I actually went and watched a video on YouTube of like, what does it look like as these islands are birthing themselves? And it's actually pretty interesting to watch as they come up and they spew out and they start to form. Yeah, Joe Joe Organ Bubbles aligns with it. He says they just found 7,000. Yes. So, I mean, this is significant, right? So I think that the New Earth activity is lit in Japan. Like this is the birth canal over here on this ridge. And also it's heightened and at the forefront of consciousness. Like if you even just think about the Japanese people, it's considered the least religious, one of the least religious countries in the world and one of the most spiritual countries where it's more spiritual freedom. So they actually are like energetically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, like they are aligned more to, I think probably more of like a new earth future shift in spirituality as well. I think they bring forth more Shintoism and things like this, but still, that's a spiritual practice concept in philosophy versus a religion. So they don't have that much religion in Japan. So they're less controlled by the constraints of the reversal patterning and of the Templar seals. And also, they have the new Earth land codes evolving, birthing here at a rapid rate at this grid location. And these new islands will become the new lands of our future timelines. Basically, that's what's happening. So, this is a nursery ridge womb water for the cradle of humanity, new Earth civilization to be born. And I just really feel like there is something so spectacularly significant as to why these eastern ridges are the manifestation point to the emergence of the future timelines. It's all here along the East China Sea and the Sea of Japan. I think it's a little better on this picture. So yeah, all these islands, just I think in the Tonga, all this area here. Now, a lot of this, and I think why this area is so activated in terms of being so lit with birthing these new islands, the significance is that I think it's due to the power centers of the dragon consciousness, right? We talk about China being, their uh, country's animal is the dragon. I mean, really, there's a lot of dragon energy on the eastern side. It always has been that way. I think that the head of the dragon sits over in this area, but you got to think about it. Japan's like the pineal of the dragon. Japan is like the extent of the dragon's psychic intuition and higher self as well. Like the dragon consciousness, the whole form of it is there. And I think that there is an immense amount of dragon eggs. Okay, I think that these islands themselves are dragon eggs. They are dragon eggs. So yeah, these are some of the islands, right? The Tonga Islands. And so if you think of these islands as the eggs, they're symbolic to the dragon egg. So each egg is being laid, coming to the surface of the rising sun as the dragon's womb gives birth. This is how I'm philosophizing it, if that's a word. So when people say, where are the dragon eggs? Well, I think the dragon eggs are the new lands. They're the new islands. Hence why you have down in the United Emerald or Emirate Arabs, the UAE, Dubai, they're creating artificial islands. They're creating artificial dragon eggs, trying to replicate it, clone it, basically. So yeah, each egg is being laid, coming to the surface of the rising sun as the dragon's womb gives birth. And because the dragon's spirit consciousness embodied in the earth, how it's embodied in the earth is it comes in a celestial form. And that represents the solar body of the solar dragon. So you have the solar dragon energy that's coming through, and then you also have a white water dragon, right? That's represented by the influx of the earthquakes and the tsunamis here. With Japan having the most amount of tsunamis activity globally, worldwide, which is just crazy to me. I've always been so fascinated by the tsunamis that impact Japan. I can watch video after video of these tsunami impacts. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with watching it, but it just seems to do something for me. This was the picture. Okay. Yeah, this really represents the tsunami here, this one. Revolutionary Bell 62 says they are doing a lot of work with water in Japan right now. Is it Moto the experiments? Write a word on a bottle. Mm, There's definitely a lot going on with the experiments and as to why things occurred in Japan, and we're actually going to get into that. So good point. Missy says, I am really close to Asheville, North Carolina, but on the Tennessee border of hot springs. Think Appalachian and Smoky Mountains, some of the oldest in the world. Norway has been calling me. Finland is Sami land. Missy's dropping dragon eggs. Yeah. Drop some dragon eggs in the chat, you guys. Dragon eggs in the house. Um, well, also, okay, also hence why, okay, Japan is also, this is their flag. This is the Japanese flag. So it's the symbolism of the rising sun and has held symbolic meaning in Japan since the Asuka period. 738 to 710 CE. The rising sun flag is Japanese flag that consists of a red disc and 16 red rays emanating from the disc. So 16 rays, I mean, that's kind of a lot, actually. So it's like an evolved solar body, an evolved sun. The Japanese archipelago is set of the Asian mainland and thus where the sun rises. The Japanese word for Japan, which is pronounced Nihon or Nippon, literally means the origin of the sun. So we're looking at Japan. This is what's considered the origin of the sun. So the dragon itself is the raw form of the solar energy embodied on the planet. And this was like an aha moment for me last night, feeling through this and figuring this out because for so long I kept feeling disconnected from the dragon's energy, like it was some form of a separation to Christed consciousness or something, but I don't think it is. I think that this is one and the same. And so also, but also the tsunami part of this, right? The tsunami. So the tsunami representing an emotional stress release from the earth, right? Because it emerges after a volcano erupts or results from an earthquake or a shift in a tectonic plate. The tsunami represents the power and the courage of our inner mother spirit soul body. And then also the dragon's rage of eruption within this, it's almost like a birthing pain or a birthing wave, an overwhelming emotional break, a transformational fire water. It's the most powerful force when we combine fire and water. And the manifestation of this, so if a tsunami rolls through Japan after this hurricane or after this typhoon, I will be in shock. But I think that this is representing new cycles of new earth in the way that they cleanse the land with this raw feminine form, an overwhelming natural force, seemingly uncontrollable power, yet sometimes also devastating power as well. And I think as these things come through, this is clearing a lot of the fear around the feminine's power in the planet, the feminine's force. Okay. And what even just sharing this force, right, in an equal way, could be about. There's still a lot of fear here that has to clear within a lot of the Saturnian templating, okay? A lot of the Templar, all of this stuff, like this has to clear. And I think these spirits, okay, the solar body dragon and the white water body dragon, that this is embodied in the ancient builder races. Ancient builder races. I've been saying, like gridwork technology, I think this is the new version of this, that grid workers are intuitively ancient builder races that came to build from the depth of the rising sun, the depth of the dragon's body, the dragon's lines, the dragon's soul river lines, the dragon nodal points, the dragon eggs in which our spiritual geographical grid anatomy itself actually as well, right? Everything on the surface is the dragon's body. And so, yeah, it was relatively dormant until recent solar activations radically shifted the magnetic field and the planetary emerald body initiations began. And this is really what's initiating down in Kauai is these emerald lava activations. And so these builder races are connected to the dragon beings. There's 13 different ones on the planet, and they're enveloped in the crust of the earth, in which stands as guardians to the land. It protects the land and it protects the ley lines. And it's ready to protect those baby islands. It's ready to protect what is in an infant or a childlike or an innocent state or is like new. The dragon protects this. It's protecting its eggs, basically. So if you think why all these things happen over there, all this geological upheaval, it's actually a defense system to protect its eggs. Okay, so for when they crack and open, so that way they can rise to the surface of the earth within and through the primordial waters. Hence why all of this has led me back to the Nepali coast. Okay, why we're going to the Nepali coast, why all this is super significant. Let me see if I have some of my emerald. Okay, I do. We'll throw this picture up here. You guys remember this one? This is kind of what's the power of what's being held in the Nepali coast and what we're tuning into here. They're running emerald lava, they're running emerald smoke, the emerald crystal caverns, the emerald skull. Each volcanic location is carrying a different spiritual property of lava. And this, guys, this just kind of came into my field. I've just been tuning into this, that the volcanic systems are bringing in the elemental upgrades. The volcanic systems with the differentiation and sulfur and chemical components and however that's working on, a chemical geological level. I haven't broke that down entirely, but the different types of lavas are coming up to the surface. Just an example of this would be, so if we have emerald lava in the Nepali coast, well, in Ethiopia, they have blue lava spewing. And this is a real deal thing. This is really actually happening and occurring. It's quite the phenomena that the lavas themselves are going from what we think it should be, an orangey, fiery red lava, to a green lava and to a blue lava. And this is what is creating the new components, the new templating, the new genetic codes, the new energy codes, all of it within the new land because they're rising up through different variations of lava codes that are coming up with the new Earth templates. So I just want to give a shout out to the subscriber on Instagram who sent me the pictures of the blue lava. That was really awesome of you. So thank you so much. Now, Noko pops in. She says, Kingston asked if he's famous now that Indy shouted him out on here for his weatherman grid working. Kingston, you're famous. Yeah, I think someday you will be. Smart guy, smart kid. Gio says, love, peace, joy, and blessings. Thank you, joy and blessings. Was literally working on constructing my ceremonial outline for day 3 of our mission when I realized Indy was live for this energy update. It's like a diamond bell was rung in my head to hop on. Wow. Yeah, we're getting the call for sure because I mean, we're bringing all of this information in. And one thing I do know is that, let's go back to my awesome picture here. So what I was getting is that the new World War II codes, like not that there's new codes, but the ancient past timeline World War II codes, what we had seen in the grid work is that they were locked in a vault in the lands of Germany, that this has actually been stuck in an Orion vault. And it does seem to have been slowly allowing us collectively to process the humanitarian war traumas. We're starting to be able to open this up more, right? All of the stuck and oppressed collective energy, all of the planetary triggers, all of the density locking systems and planetary weapon systems, everything that's basically working against humanity that's connected to Orion, the mechanical beast machines, all of this, it's all held in a vault in the lands of Germany. And so maybe go back and watch that significant Germany grid work that we did as we were working to kind of bring a lot of that up to the surface. And so one thing that I know for certain is that as we move over to Hawaii, one significant clearing will be to send aid to the nuclear devastation sites on the planet, utilizing our relativity to Pearl Harbor, right? Because that's down in Hawaii, and with that significance to Japan, right? The United States basically detonated two atomic bombs over the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, right, you guys probably learned about this in World War II history, like how crazy. And I think they just put a movie out, Oppenheimer, where they're talking about building the atomic bomb, all of this. But the bombs killed between 150,000 to 246,000 people, most of whom were civilians, and remain the only nuclear weapons in armed conflict globally in human history. So the only place in the world that they've ever dropped nuclear atomic bombs has been in Japan. Hmm. Think about that, you guys. Why would they drop bombs in Japan, only in Japan, the only place that's ever been bombed? Japan. It's kind of strange, right? It's kind of fishy to me. I think there's something going on with this, right? If you think about the dragon eggs, the dragon consciousness, the birthplace of the rising sun, right? Where new life, new lands are coming to the surface of the primordial waters. To think they dropped nuclear bombs in these womb waters in the new Earth birthing island nursery chain, they want to drop atomic bombs here. That's just like taking an atomic bomb and just putting it in my womb, basically. That's where, I mean, I think this was strategic. I think this was intentional. I think there was some sort of intelligence that's unseen that worked behind the scenes to basically blow up the planetary womb ridge, the birthing canal of the planet. And this also means that nuclear radiation devastation circulates within the passageways of the dragon's womb. Because these waters are still not, all that safe. I think Nagasaki's over here somewhere. These waters are still not safe. I mean, I've had a couple people that told me that they were in Japan and they went swimming in the ocean in Japan and they come out of the water with blisters all over their body. Okay, this is how bad the oceans still are there, that you can't really swim in the ocean unless you want, and like anywhere you might have a cut or anywhere you might have some sort of irritation on your body, it gets 1,000 times worse after going in the waters in Japan. Like people are saying that you cannot really actually swim there. I don't know, drop it down in the comments if anyone knows or has been to Japan or has gone in the water. Does it feel like it's just very unhealthy ocean waters? Lots of nuclear devastation in the ocean. If anyone's experienced anything like that before. Missy says, yes, and those timelines connect to Montauk and the Philadelphia project with the experiments. Absolutely. This is where I was having visions when you were talking about Hawaii a month ago. Yeah, it's all connected here. That is for sure. The Omicron, Odedicron, Wesadrak timelines too. Yes, these are absolutely. These are probably the beings that stood behind the design of the atomic bomb is the Omicron, Odedicron, Wesadek types. Noko says fully monthly Gridwork replays available at the Gridworker levels on Indy's Patreon. Yes, you can join Patreon at patreon.com/IndigoAngel. And we usually have a grid worker remote session every single month, but I will not be hosting one for September as I will be in Kauai. So I'll probably just be putting like behind the scenes footage and stuff on Patreon more so just for that month. And then we'll pick back up again in October for remote sessions. So be sure to just stay tuned. Yeah, and put a big like on this video today, guys. Help me out here and drop a comment down below the video as well if you can. Um, just to support the video feed as well. But yeah, so I mean, it's suspicious, right? It's suspicious why they would literally blow up the planetary womb ridge, nuclear radiation, devastation circulating in the passageways of the dragon's womb. The intent truly may have been to rip open space-time portals in the planetary womb to invade the birth process of the land and the codes within it, holding the tragedy from the Orion Galactic Wars, human military criminal weapon systems in the sacral heart at the passageways to the future, right? And so what I've seen that there are protections around this though on a guardian level that there are beings and organic intelligences that are creating kind of like a protected guardian zone around the dragon eggs and trying to buffer out where the nuclear weapons have been and also neutralize the waters, that there's like a protective field there that's working to cleanse the codes from, the mother islands. And just so interestingly, right, underneath these islands are great ruins from Mu, and this is the only place that they drop an atomic bomb. I'm sorry, but it's just to me, you can see there's agendas behind this when you start realizing how significant something actually truly is. Now let's talk about the underwater ruins. Okay. Doot, doot, doot. So these are just some pictures of them. I know they're not the best pictures. Now, there's a full article to this that was written by somebody else, so I'll leave a link to that down in the description. I haven't put it in there yet, but I'll probably put it in when I get off so you can look at the whole article. But these are just some pictures. So the Japan underwater ruins is on the south shore of Okinawa. And Okinawa was a battleground for the last land campaign of World War II, and they found underwater ruins in which are whispered to have been from the lost culture of Mu and from the motherland civilization. Now, if you follow the ley line connections and the dragon line connections and the nodes far across the Pacific, it takes us to Hawaii. Okay. And some of the sunken features that are in Japan and also in Hawaii, they bear a lot of comparison to the heiau. If you guys have heard of a heiau, if I'm saying it right, heiau, Heiau, a how. Okay, they're kind of like temples, I believe. Okay, found in the distant Hawaiian Islands. These are they're like linear temples with long stone ramparts. They're leading to great staircases. They're surmounted by these broad plazas, wooden shrines, and there were even carved idols on these at one point in time as well. Even the moai heads, the moais as well are connected to this. And so you can just see in this picture here also the variation of the blue and the green waters, right? The difference in that. And I think also can symbolize the colors of the volcanic lava, the spiritual properties as well. But many of the heiaus, still exist, and they continue to be venerated by the native Hawaiians. Like these are very sacred. We're going to be visiting one of them when we go. We'll be visiting the Temple of the Sun, right? The Temple of the Sun in Kauai. Now, probably there's a ley line connecting that how to the land of the rising sun, to Japan. So why we can significantly work through Hawaii almost indirectly to clear and charge the dragon ley lines through the dragon womb body all the way over to Japan. Okay, so this is one thing we can definitely do at the Temple of the Sun is to clear out nuclear devastation. Um, Another interesting fact about the how is that they were first built according to Hawaiian tradition by the Menehune. And the Menehune are a red-haired race of master masons, red-haired beings, okay? Red-haired beings in Lemuria, red-haired beings in Mu, the motherlands of Mu. I've been saying this over and over, you guys, that the red-haired people from Ireland, they are direct descendants from the motherlands of Mu. Again, why the Ireland trip I think was so significant prior to Kauai. But essentially, it was these red-haired races that occupied the islands long before the arrival of the Polynesians. And so this ancestry is really deep, and most of us have some Irish blood in us. Okay, so if we need to find a way to trace our ancestry back to Mu, if you're Irish, you're from Mu. Don't take my word for it. Do the research yourself. Look up the Menehune people. What did they look like? What color hair did they have? You'll find that there is a strong connection here. Now, another place that I think is significant for the clearing work is also, oh, it's not on here. Let's see if I have it in my, is Battleship Island. Did I put Battleship Island in here? I did. Okay, so this is another place that came to me as I was kind of searching through Japan. Battleship Island or the Hashima Island is another location in Japan that may hold keys to a significant clearing. It's a tiny abandoned island off of Nagasaki, okay, where the atomic bomb was dropped, close to the nuclear tears in the space-time fabric of the dragon's womb birthing portals. It lies about 15 kilometers or 800 or 8 nautical miles from the center of the city. It's one of 505 uninhabited islands in the Nagasaki prefecture. So, yeah, hundreds of islands, right? A bunch of little dragon eggs. Uh, and the one thing that makes this one significant is that it has abandoned concrete buildings. It's just so crazy, right? Like the whole island is just encased in concrete walls, which is like such a hijacking in itself. And it's it's a symbol of, it was a symbol of the rapid industrialization in Japan, but it's also a reminder of Japanese war crimes because this site was where they held captives. This site was where people were war prisoners. This was a site that they took people for forced labor, and everything that occurred during World War II. This was like, it's almost like another vault of Orion, right? And so this must actually be, I think, cleared as well, preserved to aid mankind. But at the same time, I think they are preserving this island. They're turning it into a World UNESCO Heritage Site, and I think that's significant in the fact that they're doing it to provide the necessary awareness to stay vigilant and, not going back into the danger zone like where we came from. Like there's something significant here. This is like a reminder. And I think so. This is definitely a connection point to that vault. And as there are many, many significant connection points to the vault when you talk about all of the locations in which we cleared in the Germany grid work, the Wellisburg Castle, the Eagle's Nest, all of this, the death camps, etc. This is all a part of the vault. And so, yeah, it's just it's been pretty significant journey with decoding all of the new island process that these transformations are really heightened at this time, and we can definitely see this through what is occurring with what's rising to the surface, because everything for New Earth will rise up from the primordial waters. Everything is going to come from inner Earth, and everything's going to come from the diamond crystal seas, essentially. Noko says, definitely have Irish ancestry. My sister carries the Irish looks more than I do. Misty says, Robert Steffer has great research on the red-haired tribes in Central Asia. Okay. Blu-ray Bounty says, I'm puzzled. Just 30 minutes ago, I was looking at the connection between the original Israelites and the Irish people. Wow. Okay. Joyful Jennifer says, English, Irish, Scottish, Scandinavian. Yeah. Don't let them tell you you're not from Moo. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know too, we still have two non-accommodation packages left if anyone thinks that they can join us last minute in Hawaii. Um, Let me go back over to my, oop, I'm going to screen share with you guys again. Yeah, so if anyone thinks that I mean, cheap, the flights are relatively cheap at this time. I think things are aligned this way divinely and significantly. And I think we're still looking to call in two more into the group. I mean, it's going to be a pretty tight-knit group. And I think right now the call is really out to some divine masculines to kind of help with logistics of things. We do have kind of a spot needed for some technical things. So if you know, not saying we have space for the divine feminine as well, but I just would like to put the call out for a divine masculine to come and assist more with some of the logistic roles and things like this. It would be greatly appreciated if someone feels called to this mission work. Um, but yeah, we're going to have our pre-classes coming up soon. So we'll start on 9-6 and 9-7, where we're going to really go into the history of Lemuria and what's happened there and why it's significant for us to clear certain things, such as the gender global mystery enslavement. And we're going to really just unlock the distorted lenses. We're going to talk about the mysteries of the yanas and how these are 12-dimensional soul template bodies in which hold the technology to access the inner earth gate through 12-dimensional sound healing, which is going to be a huge, significant key piece in this grid work. And we're also going to be doing some shadow work and just some group preparation, but then we will be full on in mission work the 13th through the 17th of September 2024. And then, of course, always after we have um, grid worker events, we follow up with you know, um, sharing circles and just like continue to reflect on what we experienced and the integration process of that because it's such a life-changing experience overall, I would say. And so yeah, we'd love to have you. Please message in at info@indigoangel222.com if you feel so interested. And also, guys, I am currently hosting a one-time or offering a one-time coupon on my diamond package as well, which is all my services. I'm giving a 30% off coupon code. It's down in the description. I'm just trying to get my schedule booked up and filled for October for when I get back from Hawaii. I have a lot of open availability to take client and session work on a weekly basis. And so within the diamond package comes the spiritual consultation, the starseed origin reading, a 13D chakra clearing, all of the seal removals, J seal removal, Draco seal removal, masculine and feminine implant removal, and a planetary coordinate grid reading. And it also includes a problem focus session as well. So if you look down in the description of this video, you will find my discount code, which I'm going to leave that open for about a week, just because sometimes when I put these offerings out at the discounted rate, sometimes some will come in and then I can't hold it open for too long because it is discounted. So it's a special deal for the special shift in the timelines that we're feeling right now. I hope that everyone is holding up during these courageous times where we're having to really, I think, step into the unknown, step more into becoming more of our true and authentic selves. some of us are really having to even stand and defend and protect as well, and not allow people to mistreat us and things like this. We're definitely really having to, um, I think, give in to the ascension process that's happening on the planet and allow this to kind of be the guiding light for our lives versus control, versus thinking things have to be a certain way, versus having expectations when it comes to the future, negative attachments, all of these things, right? When we're getting these major shifts, all of that dematerializes because the expansion right now is so big. So, yeah, guys, hit that like button if you are expanding. I am surely expanding. My field is so expanded right now that it's just it's crazy. Let's see, we got here. Wow. Joyful Jennifer says freedom. Happy and safe travels. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, Unity. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for your good work, everyone in Hawaii. Yeah, we're so excited. We cannot wait. We have a full itinerary prepared. Yes, Missy, our oh. Foot fam mom is five-toe brown, dad six-toe red. Interesting. Bigfoot jewelry. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, and every single update that I'm putting out, it does seem to be expanding off of the next thing. It does seem to be giving me more insight as to everything that we have to incorporate and include into the mission there, the boots on the ground mission there. So you can see how many deep dives, how many decodes, how many weaving in and then weaving information out, weaving going in deeper and pulling more out every time, getting more introspection as to what we need to do there. I look beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I got my smoothie. It's giving me some energy. It made me feel a lot better actually to drink this. High vibrational foods right now. So important, especially if we're going through major timeline shifts. We have to support the body. Wow, her sister was born with red hair and three of her children had six toes. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button on the video, guys. Share this out to your Ascension friends and grid worker friends. And, there'll probably be a grid worker mission coming up in Japan, a remote mission, I think at some point. That's an area that I definitely want to start deep diving and remote viewing more. So many are breaking ancestral curses and vows, big shadow work, deep healing, and large empowerment, abundance codes flowing. Yes, so we're really getting some radical transformation coming through. I sensed it the night of I think it was the week before, the violet flame was coming through significantly, significantly. Um, so yeah, these fire codes, it's bringing it through. Fire transformation, it's correcting the universal tree of life, right? All right, guys. Well, it was good to tune in with you. I will be back with another update soon. Namaste, and till the next time.